Today, we're analyzing the chilling story that unravels a web of lies, betrayal, and deception, and a murder for hire plot, all in this story of Jennifer Pan. I'll analyze the victims and the context of this heartbreaking crime, the jaw-dropping plot twist that turned the investigation upside down, the bizarre details that make this case unforgettable. And as a licensed professional counselor, I'll share my psychological speculations on what drove Jennifer to do this. I'm a licensed professional counselor, and I talk about the psychology and mental health behind the crimes like this one. Now, let's talk about the Jennifer Pan case, a daughter's deadly deception. It's a quiet suburban neighborhood in Markham, Ontario, just outside of Toronto in 2010. This is where Hu Han Pan and Big Ha Pan, ethnic Chinese immigrants from Vietnam, built their version of the Canadian dream. Han and Big were refugees who arrived in Canada in the late 1970s, working hard at an auto parts manufacturer to provide for their two children, Jennifer and Felix. They were frugal, driven, and had high expectations for their kids, especially their daughter, Jennifer. By 2004, they owned a spacious home with a two-car garage, a Mercedes, and a Lexus, a testament to their hard work. Jennifer was their golden child, a talented pianist, a figure skater who excelled academically, or so they thought. Her parents, particularly her father, pushed her toward perfection, enforcing strict rules such as no dating and no parties, and a relentless focus on school. Her parents wanted her to become a pharmacist, and Jennifer seemed to comply, claiming straight A grades and acceptance into the University of Toronto. But beneath this perfect facade was something sinister that was brewing. On November 8, 2010, a frantic 911 call from Jennifer shattered the peace of their quiet street. She claimed armed intruders had broken into their home, tied her up, and shot her parents. Her mother was killed instantly, but her father was gravely injured and left permanently blinded. At first, it looked like a random violent home invasion, a shocking anomaly in their safe community. But as police dug deeper, the truth was far more sinister. The investigation took a dramatic turn when the investigators started to question Jennifer. During her third police interview, after hours of probing, Jennifer confessed. There was no random home invasion. She had orchestrated the entire thing, hiring hitmen to kill her parents. This wasn't just a plot twist. It was a bombshell that flipped the case on its head. Jennifer on the outside was a sweet daughter and compliant and went to school to be a pharmacist, to be a professional healthcare provider, to please her parents. But on the inside, there was something else going on inside her head, and we're about to find out more about this case. Here's how it unfolded. Jennifer's perfect life was a lie. She hadn't been accepted into the University of Toronto. She wasn't even a college student. What? How did her parents not know this? Well, Jennifer was a perfect liar. For years, she forged report cards, scholarship letters, and even a fake transcript to deceive her parents. When her parents thought that she was at the university, she was actually spending time with her boyfriend, Daniel Wong, a pizza restaurant worker and drug dealer her parents disapproved of. When her parents discovered her lies, they forbade her from seeing Daniel and threatened to cut her off financially. Furious and desperate, Jennifer, along with her boyfriend, started to plot a murder of her parents. But here's where it gets even more bizarre. Jennifer initially claimed she hired the hitman to kill herself, not her parents, because she was depressed and felt like a failure. She told police that she engaged in self-harm and saw no way out of her lies. So Jennifer told the police that she did hire these hitmen, but it wasn't for her parents, it was for herself. And I guess the hitmen was confused and killed her parents instead of her. One of Jennifer's critical mistakes is she kept a diary. Inside that diary was the truth. Her diary entries revealed a different story, a vendetta against her parents and a desire for a fairy tale life with Daniel. Detectives also uncovered that this wasn't her first attempt. 10 months earlier, she had approached another acquaintance to kill her parents, but the plan fell through. How do you go to someone else? That doesn't go through. Well, that person's not going to do it, so I'll go find someone else. And here's another unsettling detail. Text messages from Jennifer's phone show Daniel referring to a hitman named Homeboy. But the plot was meticulously planned, with Jennifer leaving the house unlocked. She stood to inherit a large sum of money from her parents' estate, which police believe may have motivated Daniel's involvement, possibly to fund his drug dealing. The crime scene itself was chilling. Vic was shot multiple times in the basement, while Han was shot in the face and shoulder. Miraculously, he survived. In 2015, Jennifer, Daniel, and the others involved in the killings were convicted of first-degree murder and attempted murder, each receiving life sentences with no parole for 25 years. However, in May 2023, the Ontario Court of Appeal ordered a retrial for the murder charge, citing an error in jury instructions, though the attempted murder convictions were upheld. In April 2025, the Supreme Court of Canada confirmed the need for a new trial, leaving the case unresolved. One of the most bizarre twists of this case is Jennifer's lies and deception and the facade that she had to keep going to convince Daniel that she was still valuable after he began seeing another woman. Jennifer fabricated a story about being attacked by intruders who stormed her home after flashing a fake police badge. Oh, the lies and deception keep going. She even claimed to have received a bullet in an envelope as a threat. These lies were so extreme that they shocked even the seasoned detectives working the case. This desperate attempt to manipulate Daniel revealed just how far Jennifer was willing to go to preserve her image in relationships. Now let's dive into the psychology of this case. These are my speculations, not a diagnosis, but Jennifer's actions here really point to a complexity of psychological and mental health factors. From a psychological and mental health perspective, Jennifer's behaviors aligns with traits of pathological lying, often linked to personality disorders or intense fear of failure. Her elaborate deception, like forging documents for years, points to a deep need for approval and control, possibly rooted in her upbringing under intense parental expectations. Han and Vic's strict parenting style, often described as tiger parenting, likely contributed to Jennifer's mental health struggles. But not every child who has tiger parents are going to kill their parents. But Jennifer did. Studies by psychologists suggest that high-pressure parenting can lead to anxiety, depression, and identity conflicts, especially in immigrant families where cultural expectations clash with Western norms. Jennifer's diary entries and police interviews reveal feelings of inadequacy and shame, which may have fueled her desperation to escape her parents' control. Her claim of wanting to die rather than face their disappointment suggests possible depressive episodes, though her actions also indicate calculated decision-making, not just impulsivity. It's possible that she did want to die, and when she told the police that she hired hitmen to kill herself, part of that might have been true. Maybe she did want to end her life. We'll never know. From a psychological lens, Jennifer's behavior could reflect elements of Robert Hare's psychopathy checklist, particularly manipulation and lack of remorse, though she showed distress during the trial. Her relationship with Daniel also suggests codependency, where her identity was so tied to him that she was willing to commit heinous acts to maintain that bond. The fact that she targeted her parents rather than leaving home points to a distorted sense of entitlement and rage, possibly exasperated by years of suppressed emotions. For the victims, their psychology is equally compelling. Their high expectations reflect a cultural emphasis on academic success, but their controlling approach may have inadvertently isolated Jennifer, leaving her feelings trapped. Jennifer's parents were probably well-intended. They wanted to drive her and have high expectations for her to succeed. There you have it. This is the case of Jennifer Pan. What did you think? Let me know in the comments. And I'm always looking for other interesting psychological twists in true crime. Let me know if you have an idea. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, Stay safe.